talk to us about how we can reset and whether there's commonality with politicians wanting to reset because of the virus.
First, I think we all have been very much affected, governments, business, every individual. So it's time to think, what does this pandemic really mean for us? Not just now where we have to fight the virus, but in the long run. Our house, if I may say so, has been damaged, and it's now the time not to look only how we repair it, but how we may rebuild it, because the fundamentals of the house have been quite substantially damaged.
What does it mean, that we need to reset? Is this rethinking our objectives? Do we need to finally focus on health and maybe climate change instead of our obsession with economic growth?
I think the objective should be to make our societies more resilient, more inclusive, and also more sustainable, which means we have now an opportunity with all the programs, the 7 trillion which have been committed by governments, not only just to repair the damage which has been done, but to think and to reimagine what should we do to address also major deficiencies in our economic and social systems, which actually have been apparent before the crisis even broke out.
Do you see any appetite, Professor Schwab, of politicians around the world wanting to do that? Or are they just too focused on the pandemic? Are they too much in emergency mode right now?
Yes, that's right. The short-term thinking, people are still in a crisis mood. But we should not miss this opportunity. And of course, we have another problem and another challenge, which means that the crisis and the damage which it is doing on our economies and on our societies leads to much greater egoism on an individual basis, but also on a national basis. And at the end, this crisis has shown us our global connectivity, has reminded us how much we are interdependent. And at the end, the global reset will only be possible if we have a global effort, a common effort, to address those challenges.
How narrow is that window of opportunity to change things and to reflect?
Yes, we have a great opportunity now, we do not have only the opportunity in terms of, let's say, reflection. We have a very real opportunity by making sure that the money, which is in some way helicopter money, the 7 trillion and so on, are spent in a positive way, not only to look short term, to create or to make sure that the economy is rebounding, but that the economy is really rebuilt with a long-term perspective, which means with a perspective of greater inclusiveness and with a perspective of decarbonization, taking greater care of our natural environment. And by the way, taking care of the environment is not a cost. The World Economic Forum just published a study some weeks ago where we showed that an investment of $250 billion into nature-related efforts could create something like up to 37 million new jobs. And we all know that one of the tragic consequences of this pandemic crisis will be the substantial increase of unemployment of jobless people.
Professor Schwab, I know a lot of our viewers and listeners on radio and TV also want to know what will happen to Davos 2021. I mean, what are your plans at the moment? How many people you think will actually be there?
Our first priority, of course, is the health of every single participant. We are working very closely together with the host country, and I am very confident that we can conduct the annual meeting 21. It's even more important than ever it has been before, because there is now a need, when we move out of the crisis, to come together in a personalized way and to discuss what we call the Great Reset, and to find common ground for the coming years. So we will conduct the annual meeting definitively. As far as the timing and the place is concerned, it depends on the health situation, but we are very confident that at the beginning of this next year, with advances in treatment, possibly in vaccines, and certainly in testing, we can provide a safe environment.